Good morning, I'm Charlotte. Welcome to Wake Up Well this morning. We're thinking this week about discipleship, and in a moment we're going to look at some words from Matthew chapter 4, the very beginning of Jesus' ministry. And he says two words to his disciples, which you might be familiar with. Jesus says, "Follow me." I've been thinking about what it is to follow something, and particularly how easy it is to follow something today. So when, for example, I go on a long journey, I put my phone in my car and I open my maps, I put in the destination and I just click go. And I don't have to do anything else. It's a few taps at the end of my fingertip and I just follow and the directions happen and I find I've made it to my destination. You can follow things on social media, follow people and accounts on social media. And again, it's just the touch of a button. It's just the end of your fingertip, one tap and it's done. It's really simple. And yet following does then do something to us because we become what we behold. The things that we see, which is the content of our newsfeed on social media, shapes who we are. It molds us. And so it's really, really easy and it has an impact. Following today is really easy and it has an impact. In one sense, following Jesus is just as easy. But in another sense, the call to follow Jesus is also harder because it requires a level of intentionality. So let me read the words from Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 to 25. And this is when Jesus asked the very first disciples to follow him. So Matthew 4, verse 18 onwards. One day, as Jesus was walking along the shore of the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, also called Peter, and Andrew, throwing a net into the water, for they fished for a living. Jesus called out to them, "Come, follow me, and I will show you how to fish for people." And they left their nets at once and followed him. A little further up the shore, he saw two other brothers, James and John, sitting in a boat with their father Zebedee, repairing their nets. And he called them to come too. They immediately followed him, leaving the boat and their father behind. Jesus travelled throughout the region of Galilee, teaching in the synagogues and announcing the good news about the kingdom. And he healed every kind of disease and illness. News about him spread as far as Syria, and people soon began bringing to him all who were sick. And whatever their sickness or disease, or if they were demon-possessed or epileptic or paralysed, he healed them all. Large crowds followed him wherever he went. People from Galilee, the 10 towns, Jerusalem, from all over Judea, and from east of the Jordan River. Come, follow me, and I will show you how to fish for people. In one sense, following Jesus is just as simple as those earlier examples I gave of following something today. The disciples show us they left their nets at once and they followed him. They immediately followed him, leaving the boat and their father behind. They dropped everything and followed Jesus. It was that easy. But unlike the examples I gave earlier on, there's more that happens when you follow Jesus. Because Jesus says, not just come, follow me, but he says, and I will show you how to fish for people. At the Well, we talk about everyone disciple one, that we're all called both to be a disciple and also to raise other disciples. And that's exactly what Jesus calls us to. Yes, come follow me. Yes, it's really, really simple. I want you to be my disciple. But I also want to show you how to fish for people. I want to show you what it is to raise other disciples too. And the disciples in this passage got to see that. Because when they dropped everything, when they left their nets, their boat, their father behind, they continue with Jesus as he travels throughout the region, as he teaches, as he brings the good news, as he heals people. And as people from all over, from many different directions, came and followed and listened to the teachings of Jesus. And so these disciples got to see miracles and they got to see mission. They got to see what it is to listen to the call of Jesus, to follow him, and also what it is to fish for people. Following things today is really easy. It's the click of a button, and then it continues to mould us. And yet with Jesus, there's both that call, but there's also the commitment, the intentionality required to both continue to follow Jesus, but also to fish for people. And so I wonder, as you reflect this morning on this passage, as you reflect on your own life perhaps, in what areas have you embraced that call to Jesus and yes, I'm going to follow you? And in what areas, perhaps that last part, I will show you how to fish for people. In what areas are you holding back from giving Jesus everything, from dropping your net, your boat, perhaps even other things that hold you back to fully commit your life to Jesus and to fish for people? So I bless you this morning to hear the words of Jesus, whatever he is saying to you, and that you would wholeheartedly throw yourself in to both being a disciple and raising other disciples. Bless you.